good dude, but it's always that point when shit don't go right, when you might have to take, you might have to take it.
He gone. Terry McCoy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into episode number 32 of the Top of the Morning Show podcast. I am your host, Juan Gotti. I appreciate you all for stopping by this morning. Couple minutes late. Maybe I should make the timer. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should make the timer 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something. 2 minutes, maybe not enough time. Maybe, who knows. But I'm here nonetheless, and I'm excited because we have a solid show lined up for you all today. First of all, it is 9:33 in the morning. Solid day outside. Not too hot. Yesterday it was hot, and it was only 85 degrees yesterday, but I swear to you, it felt worse than that, man. It's super hot, and summer really just getting started, man. Summer really just getting started, but we got a good show today. It's the July 4th Eve, and let's get to what's on the menu this morning. So, opening statements, what I have for you this morning. I want to talk about a couple of things. I want to talk about, is season tickets worth it? For any sport, but obviously football. Is season tickets worth buying? Secondly, I want to talk about 4th of July being on Tuesday, and I want to also talk about what is the classic go-to hamburger, hot dog. You can some say both, some on one side of the fence, some on the other side of the fence. Then after that, after we get through opening statements, we got sleeper teams headed into the 2023 NFL season. Then after that, we got the NFC North rankings. As you know, we're going to continue that. We did the NFC East rankings last time. So now we're going to do the NFC North rankings today. Offensive and defensive. Then you got my Commander segment. Who is the greatest Commander Washington football team Redskin of all time? That should be an interesting topic, and then we'll close out the show with the shout out segment per usual. So let's waste no time and get straight into it. So opening statements number 1. Is season tickets worth it? Now, the reason why I'm asking this question is because I be looking around sometimes. Sometimes I be thinking about it, like maybe I want to buy season tickets or something. Maybe I just be thinking about it, right? But then after I think about it, I look at the price, right? And then I look at my team. First of all, second of all, actually, really first of all, but I look at my team and look at how we performed the past couple years. Like, do I really want to buy that? And then thirdly, it's like, I like going to the games, honestly. I'm not going to ever say I don't, because I like going to the games because there's no atmosphere like actually being at the game. But I think for me personally, I would get stadium fatigue. I probably would get stadium fatigue because as great as it is being there in person, I love being able to watch it from my own home. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I love being able to watch it from my own house. And then on top of that, you guys gave me this beautiful platform to be able to stream my Washington Commanders game. Right? And then obviously stream, the prime time games, right? So it's like buying season tickets. I would be tempted to, but honestly, I probably would end up selling some of the tickets. Like, I'm the type of person that probably go to maybe five games, maybe 3 games a year at some point. I only went to one last year. So I like the idea of season tickets, right? But I just know me personally, I probably would get stadium fatigue and want to watch it at home. Because again, it ain't as great as it is being at the stadium. Being at home, you can see everything. Like, you can see everything, right? You don't got to worry about the stadium prices. You don't got to worry about, somebody being in the way of your view. I know some people out there claustrophobic. And FedEx Field is one of the stadiums that's very, very claustrophobic because the seats are very, very close to each other. So, how do we feel about season tickets? Whether you're a Commanders fan, just a fan of any team and sport, how do you feel about buying season tickets? Are you a person that's interested in buying season tickets? Or are you just like, I'll go occasionally throughout the year? Or are you just like, man, I don't even want to go, to be honest with you. I'd rather watch it at home. Because actually the only downside of being able to watching it at home is probably like, the excitement level of all the rest of the fans cheering and the commercial breaks. But like, other than that, I really don't see no downside of watching it at home. And that's how I am, honestly. So, yeah, I may pop out to a couple games here and there this year, but I don't know. I think about buying season tickets. I mean, how cool would it be to have access to go to every single home game? But I think about it, I'm like, I don't know. Would I really want to do that? Like, would I really want to go to all home games? I think I would get fatigued. But then I'm saying that, and then if I ever bought a season ticket, I'd be at every single home game, right? But nah, I think that's my true stance on that. True opinion is like, I genuinely will probably just go to a couple here and there, and then just watch the rest of it at home or whatever, and stream it with you guys, because I think stadium fatigue is real, and I think it ain't nothing like being able to watch it at your own leisure at home. If you miss something, you could rewind it, right? You could record it. You could flip to another game when it's commercial break, and the stadium gives you entertainment throughout timeouts, But again, it's pros to both of these situations. I'm not gonna act like I don't ever want to go to a game. I don't like going to games, because I definitely do, and there's definitely no atmosphere like it, like being there around 60,000 other fans cheering on your favorite team, But I definitely had to bring that up, because I'm like, season tickets, how do you feel about it? They cool, right? But I don't know if I would have season tickets, because I know at some point I would get stadium fatigue and would just rather watch it at home. What says you out there, though? How do you feel about season tickets? I'm interested to hear your opinion on what I just said. Next opening statement I want to talk about is 4th of July on Tuesday. Really? See, now this is the thing, right? This is why it's like 4th of July on a Tuesday, because you just come fresh off of the week, right? You come fresh off of the weekend, right? Saturday, Sunday, have you a nice little day, right? Then you gotta go to work on Monday. Then you off on Tuesday. Come on, calendar. Why couldn't you just give me that extra day off at the start of the week instead of giving me that gap? Now, some people are smart, right? Some people took that Monday off, right? took that Monday off, requested that Monday off, maybe at the top of the year or whatever, so they could have their weekends off and that Monday, and then no work on 4th of July because of the holiday. And some people are smart like that, right? But not everybody has that leisure. So it's like, come on, man, you really do this to me? 4th of July or Tuesday? And that's weird. Like, I wish there was a way, and I know that this is impossible, but I just wish every holiday could be like on a weekend or something. You know, weekday is a little weird because, you know, again, like I just mentioned, not everybody can take off. Not everybody has that leisure, that seniority or whatever you want to call it, to be able to just take off. Some people have to work. So yeah, that's a little weird. I don't really necessarily like that it's on the 4th of July. However, I mean, it's on Tuesday. However, people still going to have fun. People still going to celebrate it. And one thing about that is just be safe with what you do. I'm not a person that play with fireworks. Not because I'm scared or whatever, but more so because I just know the danger of it. And I like my life. I like living. And I don't want to play with anything that could potentially harm that or burn off my phalanges or extremities or whatever you want to call them. No, I'm good. I'll watch the fireworks for sure. Ain't nothing like a big boom fireworks going into the night sky. Love it. Watch them all day, every day. But playing with them, nah, that ain't for me. But if you all gonna be doing that, if you're entertained by that, if you love playing with them, chasing your family around with sparklers or whatever, if that's you, please just be safe and have fun and just, again, be safe. Can't stress that enough. Then the last opening statement topic I want to talk about. We got the 4th of July weekend, or holiday I should say. Again, it's a little weird because it's on Tuesday. What is the classic go-to meal? Like, food, I should say. I know I only mentioned hamburgers and hot dogs, but I know it's probably some other jokes out there that's classic at your cookout or whatever, or at a family event. Now, let me say this: I haven't been to a cookout in so long, bro. Like, so long. But I still, know what's the go-to for me. I ain't gonna lie. The go-to for me would probably be an Italian sausage, bro. So not a hamburger, not a ballpark hot dog, not a hamburger. Give me a nice little half smoke or Italian sausage with some mustard on it, maybe some ketchup. And that do it. That do it. Now, I'm not saying I ain't gonna give me a hamburger, But I know, honestly speaking, I would prefer a great Italian sausage on the soft potato bread, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not too picky about my bread, right? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not too picky about it. As long as it ain't smushed up, long as it's soft, I ain't too picky about the bread or whatever. But, I mean, soft potato bread, sweet. I do like the sweet bread, though. The sweet potato bread, that is always a plus. So, if they got that, for sure, you're right on, right? For sure, you're right on with that. But I'm not really too particular about it. Now, if they had like Hawaiian roll, the Hawaiian rolls that you eat, if they had those in hot dog form, Lord, that would be amazing. But yeah, let me know what y'all. What is y'all go-to classic meal, man? So apparently, I just looked it up. Apparently, they do got them. Man, I know them jumps hit, bro. What is y'all go-to meal out there of food on 4th of July? You know? But yeah, so that's all. That's it for my opening statements, man. Let's go ahead. Y'all got a lot to chew on from that. From whether you would buy season tickets, or how do you feel about season tickets, to 4th of July being on Tuesday, which is horrible. To what is your favorite food? Now let's get to the next segment. Make sure I rack up them comments. I'll be reading them on the air if we have some people in here. Next thing. Sleeper teams headed into the 2023 season. I got a couple. So let's go ahead and get to my list of teams. The first team that comes to mind when I think of sleeper teams, how can you not mention the Carolina Panthers? When I think of sleeper teams, Carolina is one of the first teams that come to my mind. Why, you may ask? Because they got them a fresh new quarterback in Bryce Young. Right? Yeah, he's a rookie. He gonna have his ups and downs. He might take some time to get right. But he's in the perfect division, and that's another reason why I feel the way I feel about him, because they have an absolute great chance in front of them to actually win the NFC South in their first year under Bryce Young and Frank Reich. They got a perfect opportunity to do that. And you look at the rest of the division, the Bucks, they got a quarterback frenzy, and I don't know who's gonna be their quarterback. Right? I don't know who's gonna get the start. You may see Kyle Trask, you may see Baker Mayfield. Who is going to get the start there in Tampa? Then you got the Saints with Derek Carr. Yeah, Derek Carr, cool. He's solid, and the Saints definitely could be a sleeper team too. But it ain't no real threat that Carolina is facing that could stop them from potentially making the playoffs. Now, don't get it twisted. Whoever makes it out the playoffs, makes it out the AFC South winning it, they ain't gonna do no damage in the playoffs unless it's maybe New Orleans. But other than that, they ain't doing nothing. Whoever makes it out, but whoever gets that NFC South crown, but it's probably gonna be like 8 wins, 9 wins. You know what I'm saying? So Carolina is like the first team I think of when it comes to potential sleepers. Bryce Young, Adam Thielen, DJ Chalk, right? Still got Laviska Shenault. You got Miles Sanders in the backfield. Still got a solid defense with Brian Burns and Jeremy Chin, J.C. Horn. If he could stay healthy, he showed flashes. Terrence Marshall, another wide receiver, got veteran presence, and Von Bill. You know, you still got some solid pieces over there. And again, Chuba Hubbard still. If you want to be that guy, Derek Brown, come on now, he about to get him a bag soon. If he didn't already get him a bag, I think Derek Brown may if he didn't get a contract extension yet, I think he is going to be on his way shortly. Shaq Thompson still one of the long tenure veterans on that team. Like, they got a squad, and this is the perfect year for them that they could like potentially arrive earlier than usual. And then the difference is you got your franchise quarterback already. So even if he has his ups and downs this year, this is the perfect year. Because y'all division is terrible. So y'all got a chance to have your ups and downs with Bryce Young. Make the playoffs potentially. Right? And then bounce back the next year. You got Bryce Young got 1 year under his belt. You do whatever you got to do on the draft, whether that's getting him another young weapon on the offense, because you do got Adam Thielen, who's going to be older. So maybe you want to give another young weapon. Maybe Terrence Marshall finally gets the opportunities that he wasn't receiving under the last offensive coordinator and coaching staff. So maybe Terrence Marshall finally arrives, you know. So I think Carolina is like one of the first teams that come to my mind when it comes to sleeper teams headed into the 2023 season. Next team I want to talk about is their division rival. The Atlanta Falcons is another team that comes to my mind when I think of sleeper teams headed into the 2023 season. And for that very reason, I've said for the Carolina Panthers was they're in that terrible division in the NFC South. Right? They're in that terrible division in the NFC South. So they are going to be able to compete. They're going to be able to compete. Right? You got Desmond Ridder, who y'all hoping is y'all franchise guy. Right? He played a little bit last year. Actually, quite a bit last year. So he got that experience. Now he going into the first year being the guy, being the starter. Right? He in the perfect division to where he could take his ups and downs, his woes or whatever that y'all need him to take, and still compete. And still potentially qualify for that NFC South crown. That's how poor that division is. They drafted Bijan Robinson in the first round, right? That was a pick where I was like, whoa. Maybe it was a little too early for Bijan Robinson, but hey, they drafted him. I expect him to be really good. You got Drake London, who showed some great flashes last year. Can he take that year 2 leap? Then you bring in, a veteran presence in Calais Campbell. Old as I don't know what, but he still want to play ball and he still contribute. Right? He traded for Jeff Okudah. If he can stay healthy, listen to me now. If he can stay healthy, which I know has been a big problem and a big reason as to why the Detroit let him go, traded him or whatever they did, right? Is his health. If he can stay healthy though, he could be really good. Then you go out and you sign Jesse Bates in free agency. Okay, Atlanta, right? You still got Cordell Patterson, who's a dynamic weapon on that offense. Can provide so much for that offense and that kick return game, as we know, one of the greatest, if not the greatest kick returner in the NFL history. You got Kyle Pitts, who a dynamic tight end, a unicorn, so to speak. Come on, man. They got some talent over there in Atlanta, right? So that's another team that is, I'm like, that's a sleeper team right there, potentially. Still got Grady Jarrett, still got AJ Terrell. Right? So that's another team that I think of. Next team that I think of sleepers when it comes to the 2023 season, I want to say the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers are a sleeper team, but the reason why I was a little hesitant with it, because I don't sleep on Pittsburgh personally, but I know a lot of people that are. Pittsburgh is always competitive. I don't care if it's Duck Hodges, if it's what's my guy's name, man? God, his name is slipping my mind right now. My guy, he played for the Titans last year, like off short notice. Can't think of his name right now. But whether it's one of those guys or Mitchell Trubisky or whatever, Pittsburgh is gonna always find a way to stay competing. And at the AFC, in the AFC at that, AFC North at that, they're gonna always find a way to compete. That's one thing about it. And why is that? Because they got Mike Tomlin as their head coach, and they just got a culture, bro. They got a culture that's still in there in Pittsburgh, where it's like they're gonna always be competitive, right? Like, that's not their standard, or their standard is championships, right? But that's one thing about Pittsburgh fans. And I know this is coming from a Washington fan, so I know my standards are a little bit different because we weren't like that all the year round. So me being able to just be satisfied with a solid, just being competitive, that's not y'all nature. That's not y'all standard there in Pittsburgh. I understand that, but at the same time, at least going into the season, you could have a competitive year. Again, whether it's Doug Hodges, Mitchell Trubisky, Mason Rudolph, Dobbs, that's his name. I think it's Joshua Dobbs. There we go. Thought of it right on spot. Joshua Dobbs. They gonna always be competitive because Mike Tomlin don't play that, bruh. Right? But now you look at it like they got Kenny Pickett, who I think is gonna be really good, man. He showed had his ups and downs last year in his rookie year. But the most important thing is that he played. So that is going to be so good for him that he actually got that year out the way. Now this year he's the guy again, and I expect him to make a really sizable leap. Right, George Pickens, one of the best rookie wide receivers last year. Expect him to make a second year leap, being the number one guy. Right, you got TJ Watt, still one of the best edge rushers. His thing is, if he can stay healthy, he's gonna win Defensive Player of the Year, no question. If he can stay healthy, right? That's the only thing. It's just health. And even if he does get hurt, he's still gonna come back and get 10.5, no matter if he missed 8 games or not. That's just how good he is, right? And then you got Pat Frymouth, great tight end, young guy, expecting a solid year out of him. So you got some pieces on that team. You still got Minka, got Najee Harris, Cam Hayward, veteran, still there. Deontay Johnson, another solid receiver. If he could catch the ball and be healthy, he could be solid. Drafted Broderick Jones this year. Get that protection for one Kenny Pickett, Allen Robinson, Patrick Peterson. Patrick Peterson's older, but he can still provide some solid protection and solid leadership for that secondary. And what I mean by protection is coverage, I should say, rather, for out there. He isn't just all the way toast. Right? He drafted Joey Porter Jr. in the second round. That was a steal. He's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder because he definitely felt like he was a first round pick. Should have been. Right? Then you go with Larry Ogunjobi. Solid defensive lineman. So you got some solid pieces there in Pittsburgh, man. And again, They don't necessarily need a great roster to compete because, again, they got Mike Tomlin, bro. Mike Tomlin is going to always have them boys competing. Now, the next roster I want to talk about that I think people are kind of sleeping on, dare I say, Houston? Dare I say Houston? Now, I don't expect Houston to do much, right? But similar to the NFC South, the AFC South is another division where I'm like, if you just stay competitive, you could find yourself surprising yourself. You know, you may end up falling into the AFC South title, or you may just miss out on it. You know, now the Jaguars have prime opportunity. Now I was gonna put Jacksonville on this list, but I don't think nobody's sleeping on Jacksonville. At least they shouldn't be. They should be the clear favorites to win the AFC South. But the Texans, I say they're a sleeper team. CJ Stroud, if he could be what he could be, right? You know, he to me showed a lot last year at Ohio State. You know, yes, Bryce Young has the highest ceiling, but who I would say out of those two, day one ready. I think both of them honestly are day one ready, but CJ Stroud, I would take I think is the safer pick. So if he can come in, play good, go through your ups and downs, but more ups than downs. They got John Mechie back. He was battling with cancer, so it's great to see him back. Right? John Mechie, Robert Woods, Dalton Schultz, who I liked a lot there in Dallas. Damian Pierce, who had a really good year. He got Dirk Stingley, Jordan Petrie in that secondary. Steven Nelson, solid pickup. Right? They have an okay roster. It's not as bad. Nico Collins was solid last year for sure. Laramie Tunsil still one of the best tackles in ball. Right? So, yeah, I think I'm gonna say it. They got Tank Dell, obviously. So they actually got a solid receiving room. Tank Dell, right? Nico Collins, you getting John Mechie back. So they got a solid wide receiver room. Yeah, I think I'm gonna say Texans. I think I'm gonna say the Texans as another sleeper team. Then the last sleeper team I got for you, the Denver Broncos. Okay. The Denver Broncos, actually, you know what? No, I ain't going to put Denver on there. Because me personally, I don't think Denver is a sleeper team. I really don't. So, I take that back. I have another team. You know what that team is? The Washington Commanders. Washington Commanders is the last sleeper team I got for you. I know. Y'all are going to be like, Juan, you been a homer, man. But the reason why I don't want to put Denver on this list is because I personally don't see them. I know a lot of y'all see them as sleepers, but I don't see them as sleepers. If Russell Wilson could literally just be good, they would literally be what we expected. Going into last year, nobody expected Denver to be terrible. But nobody thought Nathaniel Hackett was going to be horrible. Nobody thought Russell Wilson was going to be horrible. So if Russell Wilson just live up to the standard that we think he can play at, or at least used to hold him at, Sean Payton now taking over, Denver's going to be exactly what we think they can. So that's why I don't think they're a sleeper. But the Washington Commanders, all you hear is that's all you hear, right? Y'all sleeping on us. Y'all sleeping on us for sure. For sure. But it's cool. Because we got all the talent in the world. All we need is Sam Howell to be good. Sam Howell has got that it factor. He just gets it. I know he doesn't have a lot on film, which is to our advantage, right? But he just gets it. It's not. I can't explain to you why this fan base believes in Sam Howell the way we do, but we do. He just gets it. This guy was a Heisman finalist. Not a Heisman finalist, but rather a Heisman candidate headed into his last year at Chapel Hill. And I know we repeat the same thing over and over. I know y'all tired of hearing it. Y'all just want to see him go out there on the field. But we're sleepers. We're really a sleeper because our roster is good. Our roster's good. Receiving core, one of the best in the league. Terry, Jahan, Curtis Samuel, De'Ami Brown, right? Logan Thomas back healthy. You got the Cole Turner, got Curtis Hodges in that tight end room, right? Offensive line vastly improved, can't be no worse than last season. Then you got the defense, right? Two big pieces in that middle. Bama Wall, Deron just got paid. Had 11.5 last year. I'm hoping he can one up it this year. You got Big John Allen, another dog. You get Montez Sweat on the contract, yeah, and you're getting the Predator Chase Young back healthy. That knee is back strong, and I'm excited for one of those two to get a contract extension here. But love it if it could be both, honestly. Right? Then you go to the linebackers, right? I like Jamin Davis, right? Has he had that breakout year? Has he lived up to that 19th overall pick yet? No, but we knew it was going to be a process. Right? He going into his third year. Now, this is the year where you start judging him. This is the year where you really like, all right, let's see if Jamin can take that extra leap, or is he just going to be a JAG? JAG. Just a guy. We'll know. We'll see. But Cody Barton, another guy. We'll see. But I think he can be really good once he learns his defense. But we'll see. But the secondary is where I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because y'all got to think about it, man. I remember, right? I remember the horrible secondary days, man. The horrible secondary days. The Bakari Rambos. The Josh Wilsons, man. Right? Even though I took somewhat of a liking to this guy, he didn't pan out to what I thought he could be once he left us. Like David Amerson, right? Reed Dowdy, like, y'all gotta understand, man. I liked me some Brandon Merriweather, but even him, he wasn't the best. We came a long way, man, from some terrible secondaries, man. Honestly, bro. So you look at our secondary room now. Kendall Fuller, K4, still solid veteran. Still a solid veteran, right? You got Benjamin St. Juice, who I think has the opportunity this year, if they give it to him, and don't put my boy in the slot, let him play outside where he belongs. He has the opportunity to be one of the best corners in football. No question. You got the first round pick, Emmanuel Forbes. So you got 3 good corners. Right? 3 good corners. Then you go to the second secondary. The second secondary is the safeties, the last line of defense. You got Cam Curl, one of the best safeties in football. Gonna be due for a contract at the end of this year. Then you got Derek Force, who showed up last year, who I'm expecting another solid year from. Then you got Quan Martin. They got Percy Butler. You know, you still got All Pro Revo. Right? This team is talented and stacked, man. I'm telling you. Then you get Eric Bieniemy calling the play. That's the most important thing. Eric Bieniemy is here as the offensive coordinator. And he's here to change the game. And he's here to take our offense to the next level. Sam Howell is the biggest piece of it, right? Of it all. But you still got all the talent around him. So even if Sam Howell's first year as a starter isn't the best, I still don't see us not winning no more than 8 games, man. Honestly. But now let's go ahead and transition to the next segment. That's gonna be NFC North rankings. NFC North rankings for, roster rankings, right? So coming in at number 4. All the time, you got Minnesota, you got the Packers, you got Detroit, and you got Chicago. Honestly, man, I'm tempted to say Green Bay, but I know Green Bay has a solid roster. They lost Aaron Rodgers, obviously, but I think they have a solid roster. But I think I'm going to go Green Bay as the 4th roster, in the NFC North. So, 4th roster for the NFC North. Give me the Green Bay Packers. They still got some pieces I like, right? I like Romeo Doubs. I like Christian Watson, right? But I don't know how I feel about Jordan Love. You still got Aaron Jones over there, but the biggest thing is the quarterback position, right? As y'all love to say. So, I don't know how I feel about Jordan Love. You still got Jay Alexander. You still got David Bakhtiari. But I don't know, man. Other than that, Quincy Walker, he cool. AJ Dillon. What about Luke Van Ness, your first round pick? What you gonna get out of him, right? So I think I'm gonna go Green Bay with the 4th roster and the NFC North. NFC North, I'm gonna go Green Bay. Number 3 roster in the NFC North. Give me the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears, they vastly improved this offseason, man. Vastly improved. They had the first overall pick originally in the 2023 draft, but they traded it away. Got them some real good pieces. Justin Fields. I love Justin Fields, man. Love Justin Fields because I want him to work out so bad because he's so exciting to watch, man, with his feet, right? But he has no excuse this shit to not pan out. Has no excuse, right? I think Justin Fields can be really good, man. I really do. But this is the year to prove it. We know what you are on the ground as a runner. But what about that passing? What about being a guy that can sit in the pocket and deliver shots across the field? Deliver passes with great accuracy. Great anticipation. Hitting them in stride. Not putting the ball where he at, but putting the ball where he should be. They got DJ Moore. Good wide receiver. Gonna go to Chicago and shine, no doubt about it. They drafted Darnell Wright. Right? Justin Fields, blindside protector. More likely than not. You signed Tremaine Edmonds in free agency. Dog. Definitely should improve that linebacker room after losing Roquan Smith. Right? You still got Darnell Mooney, who I love. Darnell Mooney, dog. Right? So, they got some solid pieces there in Chicago. Cole Kmet, he cool. Eddie Jackson still there. Jaquan Brisker, love Jaquan Brisker. You know what I'm saying? They got some solid pieces. Their roster is still nowhere where it needs to be. That's why they're 3rd. But I do think because I have more faith in Justin Fields, honestly, than I do Jordan Love, and I like DJ Moore more than anything that any wide receiver that they have in Green Bay, right? They their roster's better. And then to think about what they're going to be set up with for the future. They got picks for the future because of the first round pick. And they got, they going to be set up nice, man. They got all the cap space in the world. Man. Chicago, third best roster in the NFC South. Give me number 2. Give me the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings, second best roster in the NFL. You know the Vikings, man. They're gonna always be competitive in the NFC North. Will they ever break that curse? Will they ever make it to a Super Bowl or something? Not sure. But obviously we know Kirk Cousins, quality quarterback, top 15 easily. Top 15 easily. I think I had him on my top 10 quarterback list. I think I had him number 10. You got Justin Jefferson, best wide receiver in football, right? Arguably best wide receiver in football. Dog. You go out and get Jordan Addison to replace Adam Thielen. So another young guy can learn from Justin Jefferson, can come out, first round pick, can compete, can be really good. Right? You still got KJ Osborne. Dog. So y'all got a trio there. You traded away Dalvin Cook. You cut Dalvin Cook. Sorry about that. You cut Dalvin Cook. So Alexander Madison, it's his time to shine. He RB1. What are you gonna do? He's solid. You still got Harrison Smith, who is like a million years old but still balling. Right? Yeah. They got a solid roster in Minnesota. If I can remember correctly, didn't they draft a tackle a couple years back? Didn't they draft my guy Christian Durso? So give me the second best roster. Then number 1 is the Lions, man. The Lions, man. They got the best roster in the NFC North. You know what I'm saying? I think the Lions are going to be really good this year, man. I really do. Jameson Williams is going to be missing 6 games, but he still has the opportunity to show what he can do. Right? He missed a majority of last year with the ACL jump. So I think he's going to be good, but it's still question mark with him. But your Jared Goff showed you last year, man, that he's solid. He good. Right? You got Ben Johnson, man, one of the best offensive coordinators in football, right? But you draft Jahmyr Gibbs in the first round. I was a little questionable about that. Not gonna lie, it's a little questionable, right? I feel like you could have found DeAndre Swift replacement in the second, third round, fourth round. You had to spend first round pick on him, but hey, they did what they did. Drafted Jack Campbell at 18. Okay. David Montgomery, Marvin Jones. Aiden Hutchinson, solid edge rusher, man. He had a really good rookie year. Amon-Ra St. Brown, CJ Gardner-Johnson, who you drafted, right? Cam Sutton, who you signed to free agency. I said drafted. Who you signed to free agency for CJ Gardner-Johnson. Cam Sutton, who you signed to free agency from the Steelers. They got a solid roster, man. I think honestly this is the best one in the NFC North. Penny Sewell, really good tackle. Right, Frank Ragnar, one of the best centers in football. Khalif Raymond, who I actually like. Josh Reynolds, who I actually like too. So the Lions got the best roster in the NFC North. Now let's go ahead and transition to the next segment. Next segment is going to be, they got a solid. Alright. Next segment. Who is the greatest Washington Commander of all time? Greatest Washington Commander, greatest Washington football team, greatest Redskin of all time. Who is that player? It's a couple that come to mind. I hope if you out there, you're listening, you leave it in the comment section, or if you're listening on the playback, you comment it down below. Who is the greatest Commanders of all time? Is it Daryl Green? Sammy Ball? Right? Is it Dexter Manley? Art Monk? Charles Taylor? Who comes to mind when you think of the greatest Washington Commander of all time? I think, honestly, if I had to pick, obviously, we know it would have probably been, without a doubt, Sean Taylor. Probably would have been Sean Taylor without a doubt. But as we know, he can't be put on this list, or he can't be the number one greatest Redskin football team commander of all time, because his life got tragically cut short due to some senseless violence. But without a doubt, it would have been Sean Taylor if he was able to play his career. No question. So with that being said, is it Daryl Green? I think you have no question. I think you have to go Daryl Green as the greatest commander of all time. Greatest Redskin, whatever you want to call it. The guy played a million seasons with one team at a high level. Fastest man in the world at one point, right? He's famous for chasing down Eric Dickerson, right? Ball hawk. Guy played from 1983 to 2002, all with the Washington Redskins. Washington franchise. From 23 years old, Daryl Green played in 1983 to 42 in 2002 with one franchise. He has 54 total career interceptions in 295 games. I think there's no question Daryl Green is the greatest Washington player of all time. No question. Now you could say, again, like I said, is it Dexter Manley? Could you throw in Art Monk in that discussion? Sammy Ball, John Riggins. Even though I don't think John Riggins can be in that discussion really, because I mean he played a lot for Washington, right? But if I can remember correctly, he did not spend all his time in Washington. He spent that 70 season he spent in Washington. He spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he spent quite a bit of time in Washington. 10 seasons, 9 seasons, whatever. He spent some time, so he could be in that discussion, actually. But and I know the famous call. John Riggins down the sideline when Washington wins the Super Bowl. John Riggins definitely could be in that discussion. Now I think about it, right? Sammy Ball, punter, quarterback, he did everything, right? Sammy Ball was a dog, man. He could be in there, right? Sammy Ball was amazing for us, man. 1937, 1952, all Washington, right? I mean, you could throw in Sonny Jurgensen, another one. Joe Theismann was good, but Joe Jacoby, right? Dexter Manley, like I said, Russ Grimm, Gary Clark, Dave Buss, Ryan Kerrigan. Ryan Kerrigan's another name. But when it's all said and done, I think the greatest Washington player of all time is Daryl Green. I think after Darryl Green, I think honestly, y'all, I think after Darryl Green, I could put in Ryan Kerrigan. It's putting Ryan Kerrigan as the second greatest Washington player of all time a stretch? I don't think so. Nearly 100 sacks, all of Washington, right? Now, no disrespect to all the legends, but Ryan Kerrigan, if he's not number 2, he's definitely got to be top 5. Now, if you say he's not top 5, I think Ryan Kerrigan definitely should be up there. But yeah, that's who I think is the greatest Washington player of all time. Greatest Washington player of all time is Darryl Green. Now we'll transition to the last segment, and that's your shout out segment. So let's go ahead and get to it, and then we'll get out of here. TJ Julius. What's good, TJ Julius? I appreciate you for coming through, listening to Top of the Morning show this morning. What's good, TJ Julius? Jerris Corner. What's good, Jerris? I ain't seen you in a minute. What's up with you, man? Jerris says, Juan Gotti. What's good, Jerris? Donnell Jenkins, my Cowboys fan. He says, imagine buying season tickets to that stadium. Hey, man, that stadium going to be packed out this year, though. I'm telling you that. Because we're going to be good this year. We're going to be good this year. Uptown Dre. What's good, Uptown Dre? I appreciate you for listening to Top of the Morning show. Uptown Dre says, yo, my brother. What's good, Uptown Dre? Donnell Jenkins says, blue crabs is my go-to. I had some crab legs yesterday. I'm more of a crab legs guy. I love crab legs. That's one thing about it. I love crabs. Okay, I love crab legs though. That's my go-to. I don't entertain a full body crab. Nah, man, just give me the crab legs. They call me. I love crab legs. I can eat them every day. Had some yesterday. So I don't care for the full body, just for crab legs though. But that's a good one. Uptown Dre say greens, mac and cheese, them baby back ribs. So you went full course meal on me, huh? Yeah, I mean I love all that too when it's there, right? I love all that too. You know what I'm saying? The baked beans, right? Meatballs, man. Love all that too, no question. But iconic food, man. I can't beat the Italian sausage with mustard, man. Can't beat it. Donnell Jenkins says, I'm at Costco now. I'm going to grab you a 16 pack of Italian sauce. I'm going to eat them all at once. Yeah, man. Them Italian sausages go crazy, man. Or if it ain't Italian sausage, honestly, any kind of like hot dog sausage or whatever. Any kind of sausage, really. Italian. I really like the spicy sausages. So whatever spicy sausage out there, good. You know, chicken sausage, whatever. Go to. Jerris says, I'm in the building. What's good, Jerris? Appreciate you for coming through. Uptown Dre says, Sammy Ball, Charlie Taylor, Dexter Manley, Darryl Green, players all 20 plus years with us. Albert Hainsworth, Donnell Jenkins says, Albert Hainsworth gave me the best memories when I was watching you guys play, so I would have to go with him. LOL, seriously, it's Darryl Green. Hey, man, hey, I'm making a story on that. Albert Hainsworth situation. I'm going to do that. But yeah, Darryl Green, man. Uptown J says, Rigo was an NYC Jet first, top 10. I think for sure top 10 of all time for Washington. Definitely. Uptown Dre says Kerrigan isn't the top 5, maybe 10 or lower. Solid professional player on the field, on and off the field. So you don't think he's so? Okay, I had him at number 2. I mean, you gotta think though. I'm younger, so clearly I'm gonna be a little bit more biased because I watched all of his career, right? But when you think of Washington player, like when you just think of player like a Washington guy. Just know, thin and through, Commander, football team, Redskin, whatever. You think of Ryan Kerrigan, man. You think of Darryl Green. You think of Ryan Kerrigan. Let me say that. When you say Redskin, okay, let's just think Redskin. Close your eyes for a second and just say, and when I say, what comes to your mind when you think of the word Redskin? Ryan Kerrigan is the first thing that pops in my head. Honestly. Ryan Kerrigan, right? And then now he's a coach for the team, right? For me, Ryan Kerrigan is definitely top 5, man. Definitely. But to each his own. To each his own. To each his own. So with that being said, man, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me this morning for the episode number 32 of the Top of the Morning Show podcast. It's me, your boy Juan Gotti. See y'all Wednesday morning. Love each and every one of you all. See you later. Peace.
Top of the morning, 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 top of the